In 2012, Margaret brought a tortoise she'd found in her garden to a wildlife rescue centre, concerned that it wasn't eating. Which 11 markings did the wildlife centre find on the tortoise that explained why? I'll say that again. In 2012, Margaret brought a tortoise she'd found in her garden to a wildlife rescue centre, concerned that it wasn't eating. Which 11 markings did the wildlife centre find on the tortoise that explained why?
This is going to be something like tortoise had tried to sort of duck under something and had left marks on its shell on the outside. It had tried to go somewhere where it shouldn't have gone to not get food, but for some reason avoid food. I'm assuming it's marks on the shell of the tortoise.
And you said it wasn't eating.
It wasn't eating.
It wasn't eating.
And she was worried about that.
And when they found those 11 markings, they knew exactly why it wasn't eating?
Exactly why.
Or was the tortoise sort of being antagonized by like a fox or a cat or something, and that was eating the tortoise's food and leaving a mark on the tortoise?
I'm just wondering whether it has to be 11 specific marks, as in did those 11 marks come together to make a certain pattern, certain word, or were they separate markings?
You are actually getting closer with that. And they are specific markings.
Did it spell out a letter or a word, perhaps?
Yeah.
Had somebody been writing on the shell of the tortoise with a piece of chalk or something? What? No.
Yeah, the markings were letters. You're right.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting like an imagery now, and it's kind of creepy.
Oh, well, hold on. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing like you know in like The Shining, where they had like red rum on the wall and it like smelled like murder. 11.
A haunted tortoise. Oh, that's really pleasant to say. Haunted tortoise.
So, VeeVee, are you thinking that it's the owner who's put those markings on the tortoise, rather than?
Or is it an angry neighbour? The tortoise is stealing the lettuce from the angry neighbour's garden, and they're writing on the tortoise. No, hang on. Is it? Why would you write on a tortoise?
That, Geoff, if you can answer that question, you've got the whole thing.
Okay, I'm going to find out in about 5 minutes, aren't I? Okay, why would you write on a tortoise?
The 11 markings, did it spell anything?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so they were, okay.
And the owner definitely knew that this is a live animal.
Keep going, VT.
I'm just thinking that it reminds me of perhaps the owner, maybe a blind owner, has to feel for any markings to realize that what he has, or is it Margaret, do you say? What she has?
Margaret, yes, Margaret.
In front of her. If she doesn't know, then she might have to feel those markings to work out what everything is in her house.
You've spotted there's something strange about this tortoise,
Okay.
VT. I'll give you that much.
I think it's more like something strange about the owner.
Yeah. I think VT's onto something there.
So, owner is perhaps not the right word here. Margaret brought a tortoise she had found in her garden.
Oh, it wasn't established that it was her tortoise. It could just be a rogue tortoise.
It could just be a rogue tortoise.
Well, like a neighbour's tortoise that had escaped, maybe in search of food, and had come into Margaret's garden in search of food.
So she spelled out something like, do not feed. Well, that's not 11 markings, is it?
Or
do not feed.
Help, my owner isn't feeding me. You know, That's what the tortoise had written on its own shell.
VT, you said something earlier that you kind of moved away from, which was just making sure that this was a live tortoise.
Right.
Is it just not alive?
So I'm thinking, did Margaret find a shell in her garden, thought that it might have been like a live tortoise, and then brought it to the wildlife reserve?
Getting very close here. Not just a shell though. Like it was...
Oh, like Was it like it was actually like a squirrel that was inside a shell?
Oh no.
Okay,
that's-
wrong spectrum. Okay.
I love the image of that happening where you get to the wildlife rescue centre, put the shell down, and then just a bushy tail comes out one side, and they're very confused for a little while. No. This I have missed one word out of the question here. Margaret definitely brought a tortoise. There's an adjective we've kind of skipped over there.
A dead tortoise?
Not live, not dead.
Hibernating.
Not alive, not dead. A stuffed toy?
Oh, not a real tortoise. Oh.
It's not a real tortoise.
No.
So what might those 11 markings, those 11 letters have been? Bearing in mind, this thing is good enough to fool someone into thinking that it's a real tortoise.
Like made in China?
Spot on! That is 11 letters made in China. We're on the underside of the tortoise. This is Margaret Parker, who spotted what she thought was a baby tortoise in her garden. She brought it inside. It wouldn't eat. She brought it to the Knoxwood Wildlife Rescue Centre, explained that it had no appetite, and the volunteer put on the glasses, turned over the tortoise and saw made in China. George Scott, the founder of the rescue centre, said she did the right thing. A lot of these ceramic models can be very convincing. The Lateral Producers Club is at lateralcast.com if you would like more Lateral, fewer adverts, and to support the show.